Check, check.
You went dead on me.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, here we go. You there? Can you hear me now?
I got you.
Okay. Hot. Welcome, Cougar fans, to tonight's baseball matchup between the Asheville Cougars and the AC Reynolds Rockets here on the campus of Asheville High School at the legendary Gene Hammons Field. I'm joined today by my partner, the coach, Court Radford, for today's baseball matchup between the Rockets, 5-5 on this young season, Coach.
Yeah.
Asheville 8-2 here. Coach, I'm excited about this matchup. I'm excited to be here with you today. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to see today here on the broadcast.
Well, first of all, it's hard to ask for a better day for baseball. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful out there today. Not like it matters with the turf baseball field out there. It can be raining, it doesn't matter. That turf field is something special. But Reynolds comes into this contest very hot. I know they've won their last three. Big 16-5 win over West Henderson. And we got Asheville, on the other hand, who's coming off a 9-8 loss to North Henderson. And there's still a lot of playoff implications on the line. In this conference, we get three teams in, and Asheville is still fighting, for that number one spot with TCU Robertson being one game ahead of them. But that loss to North Henderson, they have to avenge it right here tonight.
And anytime you see Asheville Reynolds playing on the same field, you know there's a grudge match, and it's a game that Asheville really wants to win and they want to come out on top in.
I mean, it's a rivalry game, and it is a rivalry in all of our sports here. They're right across the railroad tracks from us. They don't like us. We don't really like them, and so it's going to be a great baseball game. And
Coach, why don't you take us through the lineup today for the Rockets?
So leading off, center fielder number 4, Carter Lindsay. And Carter is an unbelievable player. He is actually committed to NC State to play. At shortstop, number 14, Blake Stotesberry. Pitching tonight, number 5, Gavin Owens. Catching behind the plate, number 9, Dane Frelick. At first, number 7, Cam Lance. DHing tonight, number 10, Zach Bone. At second base and batting 7th, number 12, Carter Buckner. Playing right, number 16, Connor Meese. And then batting 9th, left field, number 6, Tanner Jackson. And the coach for Reynolds, first-year coach Michael Staykar. Now he's assisted by the legendary J.D. Henson. J.D. Henson's been around a long time in this community. He's helped a lot of young baseball players, including myself. He is a great baseball coach, and Jared Green also helps him as well.
And for your Cougars, 8-2 on the season so far. Leading off, playing right field, number 2, Connor Hillier. Batting second, playing second base, number 4, Kyle Mosher. Batting third, playing shortstop, number 8, Sam Justin. Batting fourth, playing center field, number 24, Larson Schultz. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 29, Sean Clark. Batting sixth, the DH, number 7, Canner Clark. Batting seventh and catching, number 10, Eric Crumpy. Batting eighth, playing left field, number 14, Eli Masters. And batting ninth, playing third base, number 13, Amrit Brown. The Cougars are coached by Bill Hillier Jr. He's assisted by Jesse Swain, Logan Craig, Zach Hall, Noah Wallace, and the legendary Gene Hammons. Administratively, the Cougars are helped in the dugout by Tess Boatwright. We are just a couple minutes away here, fans, from first pitch here at legendary Gene Hammons Field between your Asheville Cougars and the Rockets of AC Reynolds. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network with the first pitch. And we're back here on the Cougar Sports Network. First pitch coming up between your Cougars and the Rockets of Reynolds.
On the mound tonight for Asheville, we have, I believe, sophomore Davis Hayes. Davis made his first start last week, pitched really well. He's good at locating and has really good off-speed type stuff, and hopefully he finds the zone early and he can get into a good rhythm.
Yeah, Coach. Davis Hayes is a sophomore. He has a 4.77 ERA on the season. He's pitched 14 innings and is averaging about a strikeout an inning for the Cougars. So, again, a young arm for Coach Hillier here. His stat line, 4 games played, 14.2 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, 1 earned run, 5 base on balls for a 4.77 ERA.
Well, and I think one thing he's got to do tonight is he's got to pitch to contact and let his defense make plays. Asheville has played really well defensively this year, and that's what they're going to have to do tonight. So leading off for Reynolds, number 4, Carter Lindsay, their center fielder.
Carter averaging .294 on the season with 34 at-bats, 6 RBIs, and 13 runs scored.
The first pitch from Davis, strike right there on the outside corner. Good job starting it off with a fastball, start the game off the right way.
And, Coach, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame, but what are some keys to victory for the Cougars today if they want to come out on top and get back in the win column?
Well, the biggest thing they have to do is they have to play great defensively, and they have to run the bases well. Coach Hillier said it all year. That's who they are as a team. That they do a good job off the bump. That their pitchers do a good job pitching the contact, and that's a foul ball by Lindsay right there, just out of play, brings the count to 1-2. But Asheville's got to play well defensively, and that honestly is what hurt them against North Henderson in the 9-8 loss. They gave up 17 free bases and 5 errors that game, and this Asheville team can't do that. They love to play great defense, so that's what they're going to have to do tonight.
Yeah, one of the strong points, I think, for the Cougars is their outfield this year.
Oh, backdoor curveball for strike 3. That's 1 out in the inning. Big strikeout on Carter Lindsay right there.
Next to the Rockets, number 14.
Next up for Reynolds, number 14, Blake Stotesberry.
Stotesbury has a 4.10 average on the season, 9 RBIs, 12 runs scored, 16 hits for the Rockets.
Like I said, the Rockets are streaking right now, and they're putting up a lot of runs. Ground ball back to the pitcher. He takes a few steps towards first. Easy toss for 2 outs in the inning. Davis doing a good job so far, being very efficient with his pitches. I believe that brings his pitch count to 4. And now, with the way baseball's changed over the past few years, pitch count means a lot more.
Well, and Coach, how important is it for Davis to get a couple outs here early in the game to build some confidence?
Oh, it's huge. Anytime you got a sophomore starting on varsity in a rivalry game, a great start is key. Next up for the Rockets with 2 outs, number 5, Gavin Owens.
Gavin Owens, 344 average, Coach.
Fly ball. It will stay in play. Schultz, or who's that? Sean Clark over there at first squeezes it for out number 3. That's a quick 1-2-3 inning right there for Davis.
3 up, 3 down for the Cougars. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
All right, leading off for the Cougars, number 2, sophomore Connor Hillier.
Connor, 308 average on the season so far.
Fly ball to short. He catches it for 1 out in the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Gavin Owens, the hard-throwing righty from Reynolds.
Yeah, Gavin Owens has a 2.45 ERA on the season with 5 appearances.
Next up, number 4, Kyle Mosher. Swing and a strike.
Mosher hitting 321 this year.
And he's really come on strong lately. He's been hitting the ball well. He does a good job in the backside power gap. Ball 1 high. 1-1 is the count. Like I said, Mosher, and he can run. So if he puts the ball on the ground, he's got a chance to beat it out. And the line drive gets over second baseman's head. Looks like a single to center field for Mosher, and he continues the hot streak that he's on right now.
That hit brings up number 8, Sam Justin.
Next up for the Cougars, number 8, the shortstop, Sam Justin, who's one of our seniors here for the Cougars and kind of a leader for this program.
Sam's hitting 410 with a 465 on-base percentage.
The pass ball takes Mosher to second. Looks like Gavin just held on to that one a little bit long.
And, Coach, I've got to imagine for the Cougars, it would be important for them to get on the board early against a senior pitcher and really kind of give Davis some confidence here coming out of the first inning.
There it is, single to center field. Mosher's rounding third, and he puts the brakes on. Sam Justin trying for second, and he is out at second, but Mosher scores on the play. So it looks like Sam Justin sacrificed himself after the single to bring in Mosher to give the Cougars a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. The junior, number 24, Larson Schultz.
Larson hitting 321 on the season.
And strike 1 right there to Larson. But Larson, every time he steps in the box, he has a chance to hit it on McDowell Street over there.
Absolutely. And we've seen a couple balls that he has hit that.
Oh, he hits one down left field line. Will it stay fair? Oh! That's where it's tough when you have turf. I think if that's a chalk line, you may have seen some chalk fly right there, but that was about as close as it can get. But no one had a better view than our umpire behind the plate tonight, which is Charlie Howard.
Well, and that's the thing, too, like you said, from our angle, Coach, it looked like it was a fair ball. Ooh. It looked like it was right there on the line. But he's the one with the best view in the house. And
that's tough.
And almost on cue there. But, we've seen some balls that he has hit this year, and you're just, back into the trees.
He's a big young man. He's about 6'4", 225. Looks like a tight end to me. He's a big young man that can hit the ball a long way. The 2-2 pitch, hard slider for strike 3. Gavin gets out of the inning. The Cougars score 1 run off 2 hits, and the Cougars lead 1-0 going into the bottom or top of the second.
We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
leading off the top of the second, you got number 9, the catcher, Dane Frelick.
Frelick hitting .433 for the Rockets.
Pitch from Davis. Ground ball to third, and it will be foul. He was a little ahead of that one, topped it a little bit. He has a nice swing, though. I believe that he's hitting over 400 there, and it's probably the reason the Rockets have put up a lot of runs lately.
Yeah, and Coach, talk a little bit about, we in football we're on turf all the time, but talk about what some of these kids out here on the baseball field are going to see that they normally wouldn't see on a grass field out here on a turf field.
Well, the biggest thing is I think it stays true. You can't complain about a bad hop out here. They don't have a patch of grass or anything like that. They can throw it off. The only thing is it plays a little bit faster. The turf plays a little bit faster than a natural surface. But like I said, you're going to get true ground balls. Now, line drives in the gap, they're going to get to the fence a lot faster this way. And that's a ball right there to Frelick, bringing the count to 1-1.
Well, I would think that, too, would change a little bit of how the coaches for Asheville would teach those balls in the gaps, like you said, their angles that they have to take and how they're going to approach ground balls.
You definitely got to take better angles, in the outfield. And I think with ground balls, you always got to understand the speed of the base runner, but I think you got a little bit more time because it's going to get on you a little bit quicker than it would, like I said, on a traditional grass surface. And you can see the third baseman's playing back a little bit, but you got the 4-hole hitter up. I don't know why he'd be playing up, but it can get on you in a hurry. Big pitch right there to bring the count 2-2. Strike right there on the black of the plate. He really painted that one. So 2-2 to count on the 4-hole. The catcher. You don't see a lot of catchers hitting the 4-hole. That's how you know he's a player. It's a hard job to do. Ball 3 outside, bringing the count full.
Well, and you talk a little bit about the top of this lineup for the Rockets. I mean, they're pretty upperclassmen heavy with Lindsay leading off, and just as we've gone through, they're not easy outs.
There's not a lot of easy outs in this Rocket lineup. Oh, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. So the leadoff walk brings up number 7, the first baseman, Cam Lance. Looks like we got a runner for the catcher coming in for the Rockets. I know they put that rule in, try to speed the game up a little bit, let a catcher go ahead and get his gear on. I know when I caught, that was my favorite part of getting on base, is that someone else got to run for me. Leadoff walks are tough. He's going to have to really battle back from this one. Leadoff walks score 80% of the time, so Davis has got his work cut out for him here.
Well, and two, it's the pitcher and the catcher. Is it not in baseball, Coach?
Oh, definitely, definitely. But you can run for the pitcher and you can run for the catcher.
And that doesn't count against your substitutions?
Doesn't count. No, it's a free substitute. Doesn't count for the young man coming in to run for him. It doesn't take anything away from him. So, again, it's just trying to speed the game up a little bit, get them ready to go back out. Strike there on the outside corner.
And Lance hitting .406 for the Rockets. But going back to the runner, at least I know in softball, too, it did give us a little bit of a strategy to it, too, if our pitcher or catcher were able to get on, be able to get a speedy base runner out there to do some stuff on the bases. Definitely.
I mean, you want to, right there when you get a free substitution that you don't really have to think about, you want to put your fastest kids out there to try to put pressure on the defense. Right now, Cam Lance has a 1-2 count. Davis really needs to throw a ground ball here, try to get a double play. Strike 3. Look like he may have been thinking curveball there with how good Davis's curveball is, and Davis did a good job mixing it up and throwing a fastball there on the outside corner. So that's 1 out on the inning. Next up for the Rockets is the DH number 10, Zach Bone.
Bone hitting .423 for the Rockets. Again, another senior for the Rockets.
And it seems like every guy that you call out is hitting over 400. That's an impressive stat line right there. So we got 1 out. Davis in the stretch, the pitch. Must have missed just a little up right there. Bone's a tall young man, though. That strike zone's got to be pretty big. But right here, Davis really wants to work down in the zone and try to get a ground ball to get out of the inning. The 1-0 pitch from Davis. Strike on the outside corner. He can make a living right there. That's a tough pitch.
He's made a couple of those really good pitches early on, Coach, that He's been able to grab the corner.
And honestly, Crumpy, the catcher, Eric Crumpy, he's doing a great job sticking it right there in the corner, not letting the ball take his glove and taking it out of the zone. The 1-1 pitch, ground ball foul down the third base line, bringing the count to 1-2.
Well, and as a young pitcher, how important is it for you to have an upperclassman behind the plate that's able to help you out a little bit, and give you some of that senior leadership, so to
I
speak?
think that's a big thing because I think what it does is, that relationship between the pitcher and catcher is so vital. It's so important. And so to have an upperclassman like Crumpy back there to kind of help calm the nerves, I think it's a big plus for the Cougars. Curveball stays up, kind of late breaker there. Didn't quite get down in the zone in time, bringing the count to 2-2.
You could tell Davis wanted that one.
He wanted that one right there. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come back to it the way Bone pulled the fastball foul down the third base line. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball up, bringing the count to 3-2. I'll be curious to see if the Rockets put the man in motion there on first, trying to stay out of a double play. The only thing I guess they'd be thinking is trying to stay out of the strikeout, throw him out double play. But I'll be curious to see, with him being a pinch runner, if they don't try to put him in motion. Davis in the stretch with the full count. The pitch. Ground ball to short. Flip. And the throw just wide of first base. We get the force out at second. Mosher's throw to first just a hair wide, but honestly I don't know if it would have mattered. I think he'd have beat it out either way. But that is 2 outs now, bringing up number 12, the second baseman, Carter Buckner.
Buckner hitting 174 for the Rockets.
The first guy under 400 I've heard in a while, but Davis really needs to get out of this one. If he can get out of this one with a leadoff walk, I think that'll prove big.
Well, and right there you see, again, we talked about the leadership of Crumpy behind the plate, but he does a great job there. That ball gets past.
Fly ball to right field. Connor Hillier camps underneath it for out number 3.
After 1.5, Asheville 1, the Rockets nothing. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Cougars in the bottom of the second, number 29, Sean Clark. Fastball just a little outside, 1-0 count.
Clark hitting 250 for the Cougars.
Ground ball to third. He sits on it. Throw across the diamond in time for the first out. Now up for the Cougars, number 7, Cantor Clark. First pitch, swing, deep fly ball, kind of in a tough area. The second baseman, unbelievable play. I thought the right fielder or center fielder, one of them would have called him off right there. That is a great play by the second baseman for Reynolds to get the second out of the inning.
He had a long way to run to make that one.
That's tough.
Crumpy.
Two outs brings up the catcher, number 10, Eric Crumpy. One pitch, ground ball to the right side. Second base makes a dive and play, throws it just wide. Crumpy rounds first hard like he's going to go to second. Catcher did a good job getting back there to back it up to hold him at first base. Great dive and play by the second baseman. Honestly, I think he had more time than he thought he had. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the turf giving you more time. But another great play by the second baseman just to throw a little wide to first. I don't know how the official score is going to score it, but that's a hard thing to give him an error on that play.
Yeah, I mean, he's really kind of showed his range.
Two outs in the inning, runner on first brings up left fielder number 14, Eli Masters.
Well, going back to that last play there, Coach, you saw the ball come off the new fencing here around the playing surface as well, and you see how quick that ball came right off of it. It went right to the catcher.
It did. I mean, it's not a lot of space over there, so the ball really has to get away if you want to take two on a bad throw. Fly ball. It looks like it will stay in play. Catcher's calling it, first baseman calling it. First baseman ends up taking it for out number 3. After 2 complete, the Cougars lead 1-0.
We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Leading off for the Rockets.
And we're back. Top of the third, leading off for the Rockets, the right fielder, number 16, Connor Meese.
Meese, only a sophomore for the Rockets.
A sophomore playing in a senior-laden lineup speaks a lot about him. Foul ball, just foul down the left field line. He put a good piece on that one. He was on time with that fastball. By the end of the day, it's just a strike for Davis, and he keeps working ahead in the count.
Well, and we talked about the speed of the turf. If that ball would have just stayed in in fair territory, that's a long way to run for the left fielder.
Oh, no doubt. That ball gets to the fence. Uh-oh. Another foul ball, but his hands are good. He turned on – that fastball was way inside, and he turned on it in a hurry. But, again, just another strike for Davis, and he now holds a 0-2 count right here. But I would try to work a little bit further away.
Sophomore versus sophomore.
Big battle right here. The 0-2 pitch, curveball. Ooh, just a bit high. That is tough. He's got a very late dropping curveball. And, you know, from up here, that looks like it's good, but just a little up as it crossed the zone. The 1-2 pitch from Davis. Another curveball, beautiful pitch. He brings that one down the zone for the strikeout.
Up next for the Rockets, number 6, Tanner Jackson.
Batting ninth for Reynolds, the left fielder, number 6, Tanner Jackson.
Jackson, a senior, batting .350 for the Rockets.
As Coach Hillier brings his third baseman in, it looks like it's kind of one of those double leadoff situations where they got a speedster here batting in the 9-hole, try to work as a double leadoff. Davis works ahead with that knee-high fastball on the outside corner that he's been so good at so far this game.
And, Coach, you've coached baseball. Talk about that leadoff, double leadoff that you just talked about.
Double leadoff can be tough. Fly ball too short. Sam Justin does a good job fighting the sun for out number 2.
After 2.5.
With 2 outs in the inning, we're back to the top of the lineup with the NC State commit, number 4, Carter Lindsay. Carter got caught looking on the backdoor curve last time, but he's a very dangerous hitter, and he can tie this game up with one swing.
And if you're Davis, do you come back to that backdoor changeup?
You hate to show him anything twice, although he just pulled the string on one right there. That was a great changeup right there to start off with a 0-1 count. But, again, you got to be very careful with a hitter like Carter because he can put one in those trees in a heartbeat. The 0-1 pitch, foul ball. Right now, Davis is doing such a good job working down in the zone. Hard to get hurt working down in the zone. Big hurt. Now, you can give up singles and stuff like that, but he's doing a good job working down the zone. 0-2 count to the NC State commit, Carter Lindsay. Let's see if he tries to go back to that backdoor curveball here. It looks like he did, but he bounced it a little short. Good block by Crumpy. Again, 0-2 pitch is a pitch you can kind of waste a little bit. 1-2, he needs to make a pitch right here. 2 outs for the Rockets in the top of the third. The pitch, a beautiful another changeup to bring the third out in the inning. After 2.5, the Cougars still lead 1-0.
We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
And leading off the bottom of the third for the Cougars, the third baseman, number 13, Amrit Brown, takes ball 1 outside.
Brown hitting .423 for the Cougars. 11 hits, 5 RBIs.
And he is just a single machine. He is back in the back half of the lineup, which is great to get this guy on for the top of the lineup coming up. And then who is that right there? He paints the corner right there to bring the count to 2-1 on Amrit Brown. Omrick goes down after the next one. 2-2 is the count. As you can see, the shadows start creeping on the field here at this time. Makes it a little more difficult for hitters with the ball going in and out of the shadows.
How about in the outfield, Coach? Does it play games on the outfielders?
Well, this field is a tough field this time of day on the left fielder. He at some points can just be blind out there. It is very tough. The 3-2 pitch to Brown misses outside. Leadoff walk for the Cougars. That's big, getting the 9-hole on with the leadoff coming up. Next up for the Cougars, back to the top of the order, number 2, Connor Hillier. He turns to sack, refies bunt attempt, but the ball is just outside. He pulls back for ball 1. Now, Connor's not your typical leadoff man because he's mainly more of a free swinger. If you're looking for a guy that's going to sit there and work the count, that's what I like about Connor. The first thing he sees is good. He's going to take a hack at it.
Well, and how much of what he just did there on the first pitch, squaring, is seeing what the defense is going to do, maybe keeping them a little honest to give you second base?
I think that's important, and Coach Hillier's always played small ball here at Asheville. He's done a great job with it, and it makes the defense be sharp. Deep ball to left field. It's got a chance, and it's gone. Connor Hillier, 2-run home run down the left field line. And if after the 2-run blast by Connor brings up number 4, Kyle Mosher, who fouls off the first pitch he sees from Gavin. Now, Kyle had the single center field last time. Like I said, he's been on a hot streak of late. Hopefully he wants to keep that up right here.
Well, you kind of talked about it with Hillier. He's a free swinger, and he'll swing at the first thing he likes.
I told you he was first thing he sees that he likes. He's going to come out of his shoes, and he did, and he put that ball in the parking lot. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Connor Hillier's first home run as an Asheville Cougar. Great pitch right there by Gavin. Bring the count 1-2 on Mosher.
Well, and right there, too, we talked a little bit about that double leadoff scenario where you get the ninth batter on, and then you have runners on base, rolling the top of the lineup over.
That was big by Omrick to get on right there to make that a 2-run home run. The strikeout right there on Mosher on a great pitch by Owens.
Number 8.
With 1 out in the inning, brings up the senior shortstop, number 8, Sam Justin. I tell you what, Gavin's found that little hard slider he throws. He kind of drops his arm angle a little bit, and that ball moves a lot. I think Sam Justin tried to follow Connor Hillier in the parking lot right there. That was a hack.
Well, and a little bit, too, you talk about that arm angle and the slider moving there for him. How important is it for him to jump on a good pitch early?
Yeah, that's what they always say is the best way to hit the curveball is to hit the fastball. So, I mean, right there, and he just threw it again right there. He's got a lot of movement on that little slider. So if he throws a fastball in the zone, you better attack it because you don't want to have to mess with that slider. Great pitch right there to bring the count 2-2 on Sam Justin. Tell you what, Gavin works fast, too, on the mound. He doesn't play around up there. He's back on the rubber, 2-2 count. Ball just low. This is where you wonder how much confidence he does have in that slider, because it's been working good for him. I wonder if he'll throw it 3-2 right here, knowing Sam's probably sitting on a fastball. Looks like a double in the backside gap. If he can get there, he's rounding first, and he's back to first. I tell you what, the right fielder did a great job cutting that ball off and holding it to one base right there.
Took a great angle on the ball and really kept it from a double to a single.
One out in the inning, and runner on first brings up the big junior, number 24, Larson Schultz. First pitch just a hair outside, but honestly, we've seen that pitch called, but I think since the catcher was set up inside and had to kind of reach across his body, he wasn't able to get that call.
Charlie Howard has shown he likes a low strike zone today. He'll give you the corners, but if it's up, it's probably going to be a ball.
Yeah, he's going to work belt to knee. And like I said, he'll give you probably about a ball outside today. So the pitchers need to take advantage of that. 1-1 the count. Gavin in the stretch, the delivery. In on the hands. Will it stay fair? No, it will not. Foul just down the right field line. And that would have been curious to see if Sam Justin could have scored from first on that one.
Well, and it's tough from my angle up here to see. It looked like it was going fair down the line. But when he started walking about halfway down the line,
really, Larson did a good job keeping his hands inside the ball right there and getting the barrel on it. It moved just a little foul there late. Looked like my golf shot is what it looked like, a little late slice.
You and me both.
Gavin with the delivery. Takes some off. Will it get down? Carter Lindsay with the great catch in center field and doubles up Sam Justin on first to end the scoring threat. Huge play by Carter Lindsay right there to end the top of the third. Leading off the top of the fourth for the Rockets, the shortstop, number 14, Blake Stotesberry. Davis with the pitch. One hopper to the third baseman. Throw across the diamond for out number one. One pitch, one out for Davis right there. Great job by Amert Brown coming in and attacking the big hop and making the throw.
That out brings up number 5.
1-2 on the turf. It is so important to get that ball before it hits it and before it takes those hops and takes off on you.
Because it can take off on you now if you're not careful. Now up for the Rockets, the pitcher, number 5, Gavin Owens. Davis with delivery just outside. I don't think Charlie's going to go way out there with it.
No, and Crumpy, he knew it was outside. He knew it wasn't close.
And I think that's big for a catcher because there's a big relationship between the catcher and the umpire. And the umpire does hard line drive down the left field line. Eli Masters does a great job cutting it off and getting it in to hold him to a single. But right there is the first time that we've seen Davis kind of miss up in the zone, and he got hurt a little bit.
Up next for the Rockets, number 9, Dane Frelick.
We got a pinch runner for the pitcher, and now batting number 9, the catcher, Dane Frelick.
This is a tough part of the Rockets lineup, that senior upper part of the lineup. And again, they'll make you pay, like we've talked about a couple times here. Those seniors, if you miss with a pitch, it's going to get.
If you don't locate well against them, they're going to hurt you. One out in the inning right here, you got the catcher up. Really need to work down the zone, try to get that ground ball. Ooh, just a bit up on the delivery. Like you said, the low strike's good today. The high strike, not so much, which is probably good because it's forcing, Davis Hayes, another pitcher, to work down in the zone and try to, limit the ball from getting in the gap or leaving the yard.
Well, and it's been both ways. It hasn't been one way or the other. I mean, he's done a great job.
He's been incredibly consistent with it. The 1-0 pitch. Fly ball to center field. Right at Larson Schultz for out number 2. He barely had to move right there. Frelick put a good piece of wood on that one, and unfortunately for him, it was just right at Larson.
Next to the Rockets, number 7, Cam Lance.
2 outs in the inning brings up the first baseman, number 7, Cam Lance.
And, Coach, as we see those balls get hit to the outfield, I'm sitting here looking at the center field flagpole, and it doesn't seem to be very windy out on the field. I mean, it's swirling a little bit, moving direction, but it's not really enough to really impact that ball.
Not a lot of wind today, which is a little different for around here. Slow ground ball to third. Omrick comes up and gets it and makes a throw for out number 3. Cougars still lead going to the bottom of the 4th, 3-0. Leading off the bottom of the 4th, the senior, number 29, Sean Clark. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Owens on the fastball, a little up in the zone. Owens with delivery. Deep fly ball to center field. Lindsay's fighting the sun, but makes it look easy on the catch. 1 out for the Rockets.
Up next to the Cougars, number 7, Cam.
One out brings up the DH, number 7, Cantor Clark. Gavin misses with the infamous slider that we've been talking about, just a little inside. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball down the middle, swing and a miss by Clark, brings the count to 1-1. Now Cantor, multi-sport athlete here at Asheville High. He played football for us in the spring this year.
Sure did.
Started at tight end for us. Will it get down over the shortstop's head? Yes, it will. Single to left field by Cantor Clark. After the single by Clark brings up the catcher, number 10, Eric Crumpy. Line drive up the middle, just over the second baseman's head for a single to center field. And the Cougars have something rolling right here.
That hit brings up number 14.
Now up, number 14, the left fielder, Eli Masters. You got 2 on, 1 out, curveball inside, and he wears it in the back. That was big right there to load the bases for the 9-hole, Amrit Brown.
Well, and, we were talking a little bit off air here a minute ago. Just, the Cougars have been methodical about scoring runs here in the first couple innings, and they really haven't had that big run of runs in an inning. We've got a meeting on the mound. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Amrit Brown.
Bases loaded, 1 out brings up the third baseman, 9-hole, number 13, Amrit Brown. And he fouls that one off. Big swing on it from Amrit. Fouls it off over there to the football field. Gavin working from the windup here. The 0-1 pitch. Single up the middle. Scores 1. Second man's coming around. The throw cut off by the first baseman. And we have a pickle, and he gets tagged out. But not before 2-run score off the big single by Amrit Brown. Two outs in the inning brings us back to the top of the lineup. Number 2, Connor Hillier tries to lay down a drag bunt, trying to keep that third baseman honest after hitting the home run last at bat. I want to go back to that last play. That first baseman did a great job cutting that ball off to get us out there at second. That was big.
Well, and it's that senior leadership that that we talk about, is so big. And that was really a senior play right there, knowing that he took a big lead around second and that, hey, we can get this runner out and help ourselves out. If not, you've got runners on first and second, 2 runs just in, 5-0 ball game. That changes that could change the game for the Rockets right there.
That was definitely that was huge, and that was one of the situations where you don't make a bad play worse. And Gavin Owens finishes it off with the strikeout there after 4 complete. The Cougars lead 5-0.
We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Leading off for the Rockets, number 10, Zach Bone.
Leading off the top of the 5th for the Rockets, number 10, Zach Bone. Zach is serving as the designated hitter for the Rockets this afternoon. First pitch, curveball up. Like I said, he's not going to give you that one. You got to bring it down the zone.
Well, top 5 here for Davis Hayes has shown strong through the first 4.
He has. He's thrown really well. Like I said, he's pitched to contact, and they played great defense behind him. He falls behind here early, 2-0. Really got to get back into the rhythm he was in the first 4 innings. And there he does it right there with his patented knee-high strike on the outside corner to bring the count 2-1.
And that's just a tough pitch right there if you're a hitter to go down and try to get.
There's just not a lot you can do with that pitch.
Yeah.
And he throws it again. He rolls over to the third baseman. Amrit fields it, throws it to first. It's going to be close, and he gets him. Now, he was moving down the line there. That I did not know how that one was going to end up, but the throw gets there just in time.
Well, Sean Clark, big stretch on that to make sure he got the out. It was a bang-bang play, and we've talked about it. Brown right there had to play the hop as it came off the turf. He couldn't keep charging on it, and that almost impacted the play.
Yeah, he almost got handcuffed a little bit there. So 1 out in the inning brings up number 12, Carter Buckner. That was a big play to get the leadoff runner, though. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I think it's important for Hayes to know that just, at this point, 1 run isn't going to matter. Attack the batter, and
having that 5-run cushion, I think, is huge. And the defense making plays behind him is huge. It gives them confidence to just fill up the zone and just say, hey, go ahead and hit it. My guys will make plays behind me.
Oh, and we talked about, football season being here in the spring, and we had some sophomores playing for us on the football field, and we know how important it is to have those seniors, to have that defense, have those teammates around you to pick you up and make those plays, and we're seeing it here today.
There's no doubt about it. Another high chopper to Brown, fair ball, long throw, and he beats it out. Sean Clark, another great stretch, but that was a tough play down the third base line for Amrit Brown, and Buckner beats it out. He can run.
Well, and that's a tough play for a third baseman to begin with, but then it takes that hop there on the turf where he's got to kind of wait for it to get there and set and throw it. That's going to be a tough play, I think, no matter what field you play in.
Yeah, that's a long throw. 1 out in the inning, and runner on first brings up the right fielder, number 16, Connor Meese. Hayes got Meese last at bat with a curveball. That was a big block right there by Eric Crumpy, and that's some of the little things that happen throughout the game that can change a game. He did a good job right there blocking it up and keeping it in front of him, not allowing that runner to get to second, get in scoring position, and really, more importantly, at this point in the game, keeping the double play in effect.
Well, one ground ball.
One ground ball, and you're hitting. Fastball outside for a strike. He is living on that outside corner.
And the Rockets really have not – he's done a great job of keeping him off balance, going inside, outside, and they really haven't been able to adjust to hit that outside pitch.
And he's doing a good job mixing the off-speed in with the fastball. He's not living on the off-speed, but he throws it just enough to keep you honest. The 1-1 count, the pitch, another fastball outside. That Meese caps off the end of the bat back into foul territory. 1-2 is the count.
And you can see the Meese just shook his head like he knew that was it.
Yeah, that was one that he could have put probably more of the barrel on right there. I think he was a little out front. With him being that far out front on the fastball, I wouldn't be surprised to see if Hayes goes back to his big swooping curveball here to try to get the strikeout. The 1-2 pitch by Hayes is a fastball up in the zone. It's fouled off, and it's going to go out of play on the first base side. Now, after going with the fastball up, you really got to think the curveball's coming here, but Hayes has done a good job keeping the Rockets off balance and not being predictable. The 1-2 pitch from Hayes is the curveball, but it stays up in the zone for a 2-2 count. He really wants to execute on this pitch right here. You don't want to go 3-2 to guys in the back of the lineup, especially with that 5-run lead, knowing that how good the Rockets are in the front half of their lineup.
Well, they've had a hot bat, the Rockets have, the last couple games, and they're on a little bit of a winning streak. So if they can get the
2-2 pitch, just a little outside. Full count on Meese right here. Meese has done a great job battling back to get to a full count right here. I'll be curious to see if they put the runner in motion. Right here's another chance where Hayes has to just trust his defense and let them make a play. The full count pitch, fastball fouled off by Meese. Really a great at-bat by Meese right here.
He's done a great job. He's only a sophomore, and we talked about a little bit his first at-bat. 2 sophomores going at it. This is a matchup we're going to see for a couple more years, and it's really kind of good pitcher, good hitter going at each other.
3-2 pitch, strike 3 with, you guessed it, a knee-high fastball on the outside corner. Hayes is really locating tonight.
Number 6, Tanner Jackson.
2 outs in the end brings up the left fielder, number 6, Tanner Jackson. Hayes in the stretch, the pitch, that fastball a little low. Yeah, the wind's starting to blow in a little bit. You can see the flag waving in a little bit in center field. And on this field, you really have to play the wind into account because it can turn into a wind tunnel out here. Great pitch on the inside corner from Hayes. Again, mixing his pitches, mixing his spots, really doing a good job, especially as a sophomore pitching in a rivalry game. The ground ball to short. Sam Justin choosing to throw across and gets him just in time. The Cougars lead 5-0.
We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
leading off the bottom of the fifth for the Cougars, number 4, Kyle Mosher. Takes ball one outside to start it. And like we've been talking about, Coach, Kyle is seeing the ball well right now.
Well, and, we've talked about, just going back to last inning, Davis Hayes really doing a great job locating his pitches. And the same thing, for the Rockets. We're seeing it on both ends. Both pitchers are doing a great job of just locating their pitches. And talk about, you were a head coach, and talk about when you saw an umpire roll up that you knew their strike zone and they were consistent. How much did that impact who you threw on any given day?
Well, I think there's so much to be said about a consistent umpire, and Charlie behind the plate tonight's done a terrific job. I mean, you can tell when the catcher catches it, he doesn't even have to call the strike or not anymore because you know what it's going to be because that's the way it's been for 5 innings now. And I think, as a coach, that gives you a lot of confidence, and as a pitcher, it lets you know where you can work. You know what the zone is right now, and lets you know where you can work. And he misses low there for ball 4. Mosher with the big leadoff walk. Next up for the Cougars, number 8, Sam Justin, the senior shortstop. The pickoff attempt by Owens. Mosher gets back with plenty of time. Like we talked about, Mosher can run, and he can swipe a bag if you're not paying attention to him. Sam Justin just misses it and fouls it off straight back.
And, we talked about this turf as well, Coach, throughout the game. And the one thing that Coach Hillier and his staff really have to be happy with is after a play like that where Mosher dives back, you don't have to wash the uniform.
I tell you what, that's why they're wearing all white today, I'm sure. He spends a lot of time, I'm sure he has spent a lot of time getting a lot of clay out of a lot of uniforms over the year. And I guess his biggest problem is having turf pellets in your shoe after the game. I think he'd gladly take that switch.
Just can't say it enough just how fantastic this facility is here.
High fly ball. They've lost it, but the shortstop now sees it, camps underneath it just on the right side of the second base bag for the out. Sam Justin just missed that one. Next up for the Cougars, number 24, Larson Schultz. Runner goes, hit and run, beautifully executed by Larson Schultz. And Mosher rounds second hard, but goes back to the bag. I think that was a great call by Coach Hillier. Larson has kind of been pressing a little bit lately, and that really a big hit to kind of get him out of a little funk.
Well, and the steal got the shortstop going to the bag. The cover opened up that nice void right there.
Huge
Great job.
gap. One out in the inning brings up number 29, the first baseman, Sean Clark. The pitch, fastball, looked a little low, but like I said, it's been consistent knee-high strike right there, and it was right down the middle. Good job by Owens working ahead in the count.
Well, from our angle up here, anything low looks really low. and probably to you on the camera as well at home, if you're looking at it, anything low is definitely going to look low.
Like I said, he's been incredibly consistent. The catcher's sticking it right there at the knees, and that's just a great pitch. Clark down 0-2 in the count. Runner takes off. Throwing the dirt. Mosher gets up. and takes home Larson rounding third hard like I thought he was going to go for a second, but he holds it there at third. Now, oh, I don't know what to say because he was going to go, he wasn't going to go, and he ends up retreating back to third base. One-two count on Clark after the big double steal, and he holds up right there on the great curveball by Owens. 2-2 count. Infield playing in now with one out in the inning.
And Clark did a great job just standing his ground in the batter's box and making Frelick have to throw around him.
Yes.
To get the ball to third.
Well, and like I said, you got the sun at this time of the day too, and everybody on that side of the field is in a tough spot. And really Mosher taking that back, and probably a good throw gets him, but Mosher trying to steal third ends up being big for the Cougars. That ball misses high, bringing us to a full count here. The Cougars lead 6-0, bottom five, one out runner on third. The pitch, fly ball. It's going to be the center fielder who catches it. It's going to be a play here at the plate. No, it's not. Larson not going to test the arm of Carter Lindsay out there and going to stay there at third. Carter also the quarterback for the Rockets this past season. Two outs in the end brings up number 7, Canner Clark. Takes strike one on the outside corner. Canner with a big single last at bat. And as a guy trying to crack into the lineup and get an opportunity tonight as the DH, that single was big. I'm sure he'd like to follow it up with another one right here. Ball in the dirt. Great block by Frelick behind the plate to hold the runner at third.
Well, it's so important, every at-bat you have, to come on in and kind of fight for your spot in the lineup, and that's exactly what Canner's trying to do right now. Single last at bat. He'd love to get another hit, get an RBI here, and really kind of stake a claim for that DH position.
He's done a great job so far. I know one more hit right here, and he's going to be sitting there chomping at the bit for more playing time.
Going back to that last play in the outfield, you didn't know if Lindsay was going to take it. Was the right fielder going to call him off, and where what was going to happen there?
Well, and typically your right fielder has the strongest arm because he's got the longest throw from right field to third, but I'm sure they wanted Carter Lindsay to catch that ball. Canner Clark with a deep fly ball to left field. Left fielder camps underneath it at the fence and makes the catch. The Cougars are up 6-0 going into the top of the sixth.
We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Leading off for the Rockets in the top of the 6, number 4, Carter Lindsay.
And Coach, top of the lineup here, 6 outs left to work with for the Rockets. How important is each at bat here?
Well, you can't get it all back on one swing. So the Rockets need base runners. So the counterpoint is Asheville's got to keep them off base. You give up a home run, so be it. But you can't give up the big inning right here. And really, this is big on the sophomore Davis Hayes to get the top of the lineup out here for the Rockets in the top of the 6. The 0-1 pitch. Change up a little low. He's been working the change up a lot against Lindsay and really throwing it very, very well. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball that Davis leaves out. Looks like he may be getting a little fatigued out there. He's really got to buckle down here and just remember to trust his defense and fill up the zone.
Well, and you can see Crumpy, too. Everything he's setting up for is low in the zone. Not going to give Lindsay a ball he can drive.
Great pitch right there, and Crumpy didn't even have to move his glove right there. It's set up on the outside part of the plate. And Crumpy's not a small kid now, and he gets down there low in his stance, kind of forcing the pitcher to work down. The 2-2 pitch to Lindsay is the changeup again, and Carter fouls it off straight back. Big battle right here, but I think the biggest point at this part in the game is you don't want to give free base runners. You want if they get it, they got to earn it.
Absolutely, and like you said, keeping it low in the zone, a base hit's not going to change the game here on one swing.
Fly ball to left field. It looks like it's cutting out of play. Eli Masters gives it a chance over there at the fence, but that one ended up just out of play, keeping the count at 2-2.
And the new field layout, once you get past the bullpen and the gate cutout to get outside the ballpark, it comes in quite a bit. And there's only about 10 feet or so from foul line to fence.
There's no doubt. It gets really tight over there, and they got not a lot of foul territory to play with down the lines.
Just about outside of your viewing screen, if you look at it on the left and right side, both sides, it does.
Single by Lindsay up the middle. But again, if I'm Coach Hillier, I'd rather see that than a walk. He's still pounding the zone. Lindsay just puts a good swing on it and basically hits it where we're not.
It brings up number 14.
And you've said it a couple times throughout this game. It's important now to let your defense do the work, get you out of it with a double play.
No doubt. No doubt.
One run is not going to.
One run's not going to beat you here. Next up for the Rockets, the shortstop, number 14, Blake Stotesberry.
But if you're Reynolds, on the other hand, Coach, you're just looking to get past that hot bat. Let one to the next to the next.
Well, and there's another single to center field. And I see some shadows down there in the bullpen. I don't know if we've got somebody down there warming up. The Rockets threatening here in the top of the 6 as Crumpy goes to talk to his young sophomore pitcher.
We've got Coach Hillier heading out to the mound. And like you said, Coach, we've got some action in the Cougars bullpen. From our angle, we cannot see who it is. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
You got 2 on and nobody out here for the Rockets, bringing up the 3-hole hitter, number 5, Gavin Owens. The Rockets have done exactly what they needed to do, which is get people on. First pitch, deep fly ball to center field. Larson Schultz seems to be camped underneath it. Carter Lindsay tagging at second, but just bluffing, knowing that him getting to third really doesn't mean much there. Big out right there by Davis Hayes. Good meeting on the mound by Coach Hillier.
Yeah, and and if you're Coach Hillier and Davis Hayes, it's very much a, hey, one swing isn't going to change this thing.
Right.
So you've got to keep battling. And if Davis, he's got an out now, still runners first and second, one out. You'd like him to just go attack the batter here, get another out, and now you're sitting there 2 outs, first and second. You give yourself a chance.
No doubt. And that fly out to center brings up the catcher, number 9, Dane Frelick.
Well, and we've talked about it a little bit too, Coach, is you get a ground ball, you're out of the inning, you're hitting again.
Deep fly ball to right field, but it's working foul.
Well, and you hit on it as well last inning, Coach. That the flagpole out in center field is blowing in ever so slightly.
It is, and this is one of those fields when the wind is blowing out, you can leave it, not necessarily easily, but you can leave it. When the wind's blowing in, it's tough. So that should give Davis Hayes even more confidence to continue pounding the zone. The pickoff attempt at second base, I think that's more just letting Lindsay know that they're still paying attention to him. I'll tell you who's kind of getting a big lead is the guy over here at first. I wouldn't be surprised if Crumpy doesn't try to throw behind him here.
And I think that's huge for a sophomore going after Lindsay like that. Just letting him know I don't care where you're going or what level you play at. I'm going to come after you.
He's definitely not afraid, and that's one thing you got to like about the kid. Ball up, bringing the count to 1-1 on Frelick, the 4-hole. Again, even if he hits one on the McDowell Street, you're still sitting at 6-3. So Davis should, continue doing what he's doing, pound the zone, and trying to let his defense make plays for him. The 1-1 pitch. Deep fly ball to left field. It has a chance. And you can go ahead and call me the jinx as Frelick hits a 3-run towering bomb to left field.
And that ball just got out behind the wall. He just got enough of it. Hayes left the ball a little high in the strike zone, and he had to pay for it.
He did, and we knew the top half of this Rocket lineup is so good, and they're so explosive at any point. Coach Hillier making his way out to the mound. Looks like we're about to have a pitching change.
We will be back here on the Cougar Sports Network. Talk about the pitching change. 6-3, Cougars with the lead. Top of the 6th. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Next up for the Rockets, number 7.
After the 3-run home run by Dane Frelick brings up the first baseman, number 7, Cam Lance.
Now on the mound for the Cougars, number 27, junior Bo Trantham. Bo with a 2.21 ERA on the season with 2 saves.
And he has been using that closer role, and he's a crafty lefty. He works low in the zone. He mixes pitches well. Ball 1 outside right there.
Well, and if you're Coach Hillier right now, I'm sure you told Bull it is what it is. No on, just go after him. You got 1 out, and let's get out of this thing.
No doubt. And this is a scary part in the game right now because the Rockets are rallying, and they have some confidence now. And cutting that lead in half right there on the 3-run home run was big. Big strike right there to kind of get in a rhythm for Bo.
Well, going back to Davis, too, he's a sophomore. He pitched really 5 solid innings, ran into some trouble here in the 6th, but one bad pitch is really the big difference.
We talked so much about how he did a great job working down in the zone, and he left 1 up in the zone, and they made him pay for it, But really for him, a solid outing for a sophomore, and for Coach Hillier, that's what you asked for out of that young man. Foul ball by Lance to bring the count even at 2-2.
Well, and as a coach, you're always talking about growth. You're always talking about developing, especially your young guys, and you never know how that's going to pay benefit to you down in the long run. And so for Davis Hayes, a sophomore, he learned a lot today.
Well, and just talk about the confidence that the coaching staff has to have in him to say, hey, sophomore, go take the bump against Reynolds, in a must-win situation. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Bo fields it cleanly and makes the throw to first for out number 2.
That right there is a huge play for the Cougars because now you have 2 outs in the 6th, 4 outs left for the Rockets, and they've chipped away at it, but that was a big statement there by Bo.
That was big. Yeah. That was big. You didn't want that guy to get on and kind of keep the rally back going. So 2 outs in the inning brings up the designated hitter number 10, Zach Bone.
Well, and going back to Reynolds as well, they started out a little slow, and they've got a little momentum. It's kind of been indicative of this game. They're not going to quit. They're not going to lay down. They're going to keep fighting, and we've seen that today.
Well, it's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that's got to be a little scary in the back of your head is knowing that no lead is safe in a rivalry game. The 1-0 pitch, strike on the outside corner, bringing the count even at 1-1.
And the only time you could really probably feel good about it is when you're back up in the coach's office.
Yeah, with the COVID year, we're not shaking hands and stuff after the game. So ground ball to third baseman. Almert fields it, makes the throw across the diamond in time for out number 3.
Big 2 outs for Bo Trantham here in the 6th inning for the Cougars. Asheville 6, Reynolds 3. Midway through the 6th here on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th, the catcher, number 10, Eric Crumpy. Ball just outside. And honestly, Gavin Owens has done a good job tonight for the Rockets. He really has. I know he's given up 6, but you had the throw-in error right there to bring in that last run. Strike on the inside corner right there to even the count. But Owens has really done a great job for the Rockets as well.
Well, and, a lot of players give up 6 runs and they tank and they just kind of lose their focus. But like you said, Coach, he has done a great job of staying the course. I mean, it's 6 runs, but he's still out there battling and competing here late into this ball game.
Seems like a very tough kid, mentally tough kid. But you got a senior on the mound, against Asheville, and he's not going to just lay down. Another strike right there, evens the count at 2-2 to Crumpy. I'm sure the Cougars would like to get some extra insurance going into the top of the 7th right here.
Well, and how important is that if you're Asheville to get a run, 2 runs this half inning just to –
I think the biggest thing is I've always said you want to stay out of Grand Slam range. If you got a 5-run lead, you always feel good. And a 4-run lead, not so much. 3-2 pitch right here to Crumpy. Ball just outside. Lead off walk for Crumpy.
That walk brings up number 25, Eric Good.
We got a pinch hitter now for the Cougars, number 25, Eric Good. He is hitting for Eli Masters. Eric, big young man, strong young man, lightning fast hands. He can put one in the parking lot as well. I'm curious if Coach Hillier's going to ask him to bunt to try to get that 4-run lead right here. The pitch misses up. There's no sign of bunting there.
No, and to me, that was a hard pitch for him to lay off. It was a little high, but
that's one he can leave the yard with. Oh, slow ground ball to second. Oh, it hits the runner. It hits the runner. The runner by rule is out. Eric Good now at first base. I thought he was going to step just over top of it. It's actually going to be a tough play because Eric Good can run.
And the ball was a slow ground ball. It just got past Owens, the pitcher, and it was kind of uncharacteristically slow. It was an uncharacteristically slow ball that I think it just kind of gave the base runner a hard time because it went so slow.
I think it had, what they call a lot of English on that one. It was, I think he spun it, and I think it kind of kicked back into the runner. So we got a pinch runner now for Eric Good and number 13, Amert Brown, with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Looks like he hits off the end of the bat, just short enough of the center fielder for a single for Amert Brown. Amert Brown has stayed hot, and last time he had a single, Connor Hillier made him pay.
Yep, sure did.
Now up for the Cougars, we're back to the top of the lineup, number 2, Connor Hillier. Ball outside, great block by Frelick. Coach Stakar went to the mound. Coach, did you think he was going to take him out right there?
I thought it was a good possibility, other than the base running blunder there at second. I mean, the Cougars have done a great job at bat this inning, so I'm really kind of surprised he did. I thought maybe he would have went to the bullpen, unless that was a stall tactic to get somebody loose.
Well, it looks like Bones down there. I believe he is the designated hitter. He's down there warming up in the bullpen right now. And he gets back with a strike with a fastball in the outside corner. Again, very consistent strike zone tonight. That's been there all night. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Lead off up. Strike 2, same spot. Really, with him working that far outside, Connor really has to think to go opposite field right here. That's a hard pitch to pull. He's got to try to put one in the backside gap right here. 2-2 is the count. Owens in the stretch, the delivery, swing and a miss. Big strikeout right there for Owens after the meeting on the mound.
And you could tell Connor wanted that one. He is walking back to the dugout, and he is not very happy.
Up next for the Cougars, number 4, Kyle Mosher.
Two outs brings up number 4, Kyle Mosher. And we have a pinch runner in the game.
Number 12, Stephen Head for the Cougars.
Stephen Head came in for Amrit Brown. And Coach Hillier may have a crystal ball over there, maybe seeing a double in the gap and trying to score from first to try to stay out of that Grand Slam range. Stephen Head, I believe the youngest of the Head brothers. I know his oldest brother played at Appalachian State, and he could fly. So I'm sure that runs in the family.
Absolutely, and Head is a senior for the Cougars. But we talked about Mosher just having a hot bat, and great idea by Coach Hillier here. I love the idea of, hey, let's get a little speed on the bases. Mosher's had a hot bat last couple at bats, and so now you give yourself that opportunity to get back out at Grand Slam range.
There's no doubt. Ball misses up in the zone right there. 2-1 is the count. Big at bat right here for Mosher, trying to push one across. The pitch, curveball outside. I believe I messed up the count on the previous. It is 2-2 now. 2-2 is the count. Owens in the stretch. The pitch misses up in the zone. So you got 3-2, 2 outs. Runners are first and second. So the runners will be going on the pitch. The play is going to have to be at first base on a ground ball in the infield. And a single to the outfield definitely scores 1 right here. The pitch, the runners go, and he fouls it off straight back.
Well, and if you're Mosher, Coach, what are you looking for here? What Owens?
Well, I think the biggest thing Mosher's got to do is not get distracted by the runners taking off. Because a lot of times you see runners take off and you think, well, I better take. But this is one of the most fun things in baseball right here. 3-2, 2 outs, runners in motion. Something's got to happen. So right now he's just trying to put the ball in play. Inside move by Gavin, just a bluff to try to keep the guy on second close. Really, it's the guy on first who has to be careful. He can't go until the guy on second goes. You really want to make sure that he goes to the plate. But Mosher just needs to keep battling right here at the plate. The 3-2 pitch, ball outside. Two outs and then brings up number 8, Sam Justin. He takes ball 1 up. Now, I'm going to say that Sam Justin is due. You know, he has been close to a few so far this game, just missed it. Big at bat right here by the senior. The pitch, single. Oh, it may get in the gap. 1 run's in. Head coming in for 2 runs. Oh, we got a throwaway. Another one scores. 3 runs as Sam Justin walks into third base. He was due, ladies and gentlemen, and that was a big hit by the senior to plate 3 right here in the bottom of the 6th and get those 3 back.
Cougars now extend their lead 9-3 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Two outs brings up number 24, Larson Schultz. Takes ball 1. It's a good job laying off that curveball right there low in the zone.
Well, and Coach, I'm going to bail you out a little bit there because you called yourself a jinx last inning when you called the home run, and right there you just jinxed Sam Justin with a big hit.
Jinxed him into something good that time. Well,
big hit that plated 3 runs.
That was big. That was big right there for the Cougars.
Well, and like you've talked about, it gets you out of Grand Slam range.
Now you're back to that 6-run lead and feeling comfortable going into the bottom or the top of the 7th. But I know Larson wants to extend that lead right here. Strike 2 on the outer part of the plate. 2-2 is the count. He had the single on the hit and run.
Yep.
Great call last time. Let's see if he can back it up right here. And strike 3 looking. The Cougars plate 3 in the bottom of the 6th to extend the lead. Cougars 9, Rockets 3.
We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
We're back now in the top of the 7th. Leading off for the Rockets, the second baseman, number 12, Carter Buckner.
And for Bo Trantham, the start of his actual first inning of work, he came in relief last inning, got 2 huge outs for the Cougars. And now Bo just trying to seal the deal on this, get a save.
Well, he did such a good job, really, of stopping the bleeding last inning. It got a little uncomfortable there for a second for the Cougars. But he stopped the bleeding, and now he works ahead with strike 1. Great pitch right there as he pulls the string on it. 0-2 count on Buckner.
Well, the Cougar Bats have done a great job today of supporting their pitchers. They've done a great job of backing them up, giving them plenty of runs to feel comfortable out there on the mound.
Off the hand. Tough play by Justin. Bare hand with the throw. Unbelievable.
Huge play by the senior shortstop.
What a play by number 8, Sam Justin. After the 3-run double of last inning, comes in and bare hands one to throw out Buckner at first base.
And something that we thought was going to be really close ended up being by a step. And
what a play. Next up for the Rockets, one out in the inning, you got number 16, Connor Meese. The bunt attempt goes foul. You may think, why bunt down 6, but you got to get base runners right now. Going back to what we've been talking about with the turf helps make that play possible because you know it's going to be true hop right there. But the barehanded play by Sam Justin, that was impressive. Fly ball to center field. Larson camps underneath it for out number 2.
9-3, Cougars with the lead. Top of the 7th, 2 outs.
Up next for the Rockets, number 6, Tanner Jackson.
Now up, the left fielder, number 6, Tanner Jackson. Bo and the Cougars 1 out away.
For a big conference win to keep pace and give themselves a chance on Friday night at Reynolds.
We got a ground ball to Amrit Brown. He crosses the infield, makes a throw across the diamond to end it.
Huge play by the third baseman, Brown, of the Cougars. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network. Stay tuned. We'll have Coach Hillier giving us his feedback after the huge 9-3 victory for the Cougars. We'll be back here on the Cougar Sports Network. And we're back here on the Cougars Sports Network. A huge 9-3 victory for the Cougars over rival AC Reynolds Rockets. We are joined by senior number 8, Sam Justin. And Sam, great job today. Huge win for the Cougars. Talk about the approach there. Bottom of the 6th inning, runners on base, that big hit that you had.
I don't even really remember. He just threw me a pitch right down the middle, and I swung hard and hit it, I guess. I don't really remember it.
Absolutely. That was a huge hit when the Cougars needed it the most, runners on base, and huge hit. And I know Coach here was talking a little bit about how you carried that there into the 7th, rather.
Well, I think one thing we saw all game, Sam, is that you just missed a few.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just missed it. So we knew that if you got another one that you were gonna make something happen, and you did at a big point in the game where you wanted to get out of Grand Slam range, and you did with a big hit there. And then you go over into the 7th, and thankfully we're filming it so we can turn it into Sports Center to try to get you on top 10.
That was a huge play there. It's top of the 7th. Talk about that ball, that slow ground ball to you there, bare hand grab, and just to put out at first. Did you have any thoughts to try to get it with your glove, or was it in your mind, I'm going to bare hand that all the way?
I think I was just going to bare hand it the whole way. I guess it just was on that right side. I'm not really sure. It just was a good hop, I guess, and I just.
Absolutely. And so a huge victory for you guys going here into Friday's game against TC Robertson. How excited are you now to have that opportunity to go there on Friday night to fight for a conference championship?
I'm really excited. It's just another game, but obviously the name is big. So, and it's a big, record-wise big game. So, same thing. Just want to go out there and dominate early and.
Absolutely. Sam, great job tonight. Congratulations on a huge win and a big 6th and 7th inning. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Joined by Coach Hillier. Coach, huge win for the Cougars tonight. Talk a little bit about just this win and what this means for your ball club.
It's a big win. Well, it's a big week, obviously. Reynolds has been playing better. They've been playing much better than the first time we saw them. And then we come into the game and I find out arguably one of our best players is not going to be here. He's sick today. Got another outfielder that's gone. So now I'm going with 2 starting outfielders out for the biggest week of the year. And I felt like our offense really stood up to, the test. It's a little, you go out there and I think James Van Cleve is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of a 450 hitter for his career. And to take that out of the lineup, it's almost like the heartbeat of our offense. And then I wasn't sure what to do with the lineup, because we've been consistent with our lineup pretty much every day. So that was huge. And then, Sam getting 3 hits. You tell the guys somebody's got to step up, and we got some big knocks.
Yeah, for sure. And to kind of build on that, you threw Davis Hayes today, a sophomore on the mound against a very senior-laden top half of the lineup for the Rockets.
Right. No, he was great. What he has a moxie about himself that he's going to just go out there, give you his best stuff, see if you can hit it. And all of a sudden you're sitting there in the 3rd inning and he's at 27 pitches. And then you're in the 4th inning and he's, at like 39. And then they stretch him out a little bit in the 4th. I called the changeup that went out of the yard. He was getting tired. There wasn't enough differential between his changeup and his fastball at that time of the game. I wasn't even sure whether to leave him out there, let alone I shouldn't have gone changeup. But, Dane Frelick's one of the best hitters in our league, too. I've spent a lot of time with Dane. He's a college baseball player for a reason. And he just left one center cut, and Dane banged it.
It's hard to say anything's a trap game with it being a rivalry game,
Yeah.
but how was it to focus your guys knowing how big Friday night's game is?
It's a lot easier coming off a loss. We blew one last Friday where we had 6 walks, 5 hit by pitch. We played poorly. And so I think I guess it was last Thursday because we got to practice on Friday. We got to practice on Saturday. We got to practice on Monday with a focus of just getting back into being who we are, a team that kind of our identity is pitching, base running, and defense. And we didn't do any of those things last week. So I think the kids really understood that we have to get things going on the right path, and I didn't have to wake them up. I think that when they showed up today and James went in the lineup was what I had to, to talk about.
How did they handle that?
It was kind of quiet, like, you know, and man, is he on his deathbed? And like, where's our guy? But you know, there was a lot of like just looking around the room, like, where the heck is James? When's he going to show up?
Well, it looks like the change that you made was moving Connor Hillier up to the leadoff spot. At what point did you know his ball was gone?
I did when it bounced in the parking lot. You know, the wind was blowing in slightly, and you know, that's his first home run. So you don't ever expect a home run until you've, you know, like when, you know, some of these guys hit him out. You know, you've hit it before, you start to expect it. But being his first high school home run against Reynolds, I'm sure that he won't forget it.
That's
It was
big.
a big spot too. You know, 1-0 game in the third. You know,
That was a big win, huge win,
Yeah,
setting
it
up
is.
even a bigger game on
it's a
Friday.
big game, and really important how well Bo pitched there at the end. So we go into Friday stocked full of arms.
Well, I think the way you swung it tonight too, I think
Yeah.
that'll carry over as well.
It definitely is going to give you confidence. Hitting so much confidence, and those guys had, you know, we did a better job with 2 out hitting today, and that's been a weakness of ours. And maybe some situational hitting where we didn't move runners in the past that we did a good job of today. So we took advantage. You know, Amrit Brown has done a really good job with 2 out hitting for us, and he's been, you know, he's in the 9-hole, but I don't know what he's hitting. You guys
He's in the
probably know
9-hole
stats.
hitting 400 or
Yeah, he's
something
hitting
like
400, and don't tell
that.
anybody.
Sneaky
Right,
9-hole.
because he gets a lot of fastballs and he doesn't miss them. You know, if I put him in the 3-hole, all of a sudden he's going to be chasing breaking balls. Hopefully he doesn't take it a detriment. I think it's a huge weapon to have at the bottom of our order.
Yeah, Brown's hitting 423 coming into today.
Yeah,
So
and then I think he had 2 more knocks today.
big bottom of the lineup production.
And we played great defense. I mean, I think that's our strength. Probably one of the best defensive teams that we've ever had. Now, you take those 2 outfielders out of there, and it changes things a little bit. You know, Larson hadn't played center field in his career.
Well, I think that's big kind of when you talk about that's your identity. That's
Yeah,
what you are.
it is.
And then you talk about how that's not what you did last Thursday against North Henderson, and then to be able to get back to your identity.
Right.
And this is the home stretch of the season where you got to be
For sure.
good, and it's good for the guys to really have confidence in that identity,
Yeah.
saying this is who we are.
And yeah, you start looking like I'm looking at your screen here, and we're looking at an unbelievable facility. And going into this week, you're thinking, man, we got to do this week in order to get to play on this place, you know, come playoff time. I'm not positive. I think we might have clinched a playoff spot tonight. I don't know. I don't worry about that because I'm not just trying to get in. I want to host that first round game. And, you know, Friday night's probably going to determine that.
Well, Coach, appreciate you taking time after this big win and getting up here and talking with us after a huge 9-3 win
Right.
against a rival Rockets.
Now we're Rockets fans, though, because they play TC Thursday night.
That would be big, would it not?
So, yeah, we flipped the script, and now we're pulling for the Rockets.
Well, absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you. Congratulations. Good luck on Friday night, and go win a conference
I
championship.
appreciate you guys doing this.
Thank you, Coach. All right, Rocket fans, or Cougar fans, 9-3. Well, we are Rocket fans now. A huge 9-3 victory for your Cougars here at the legendary Gene Hammonds Field. Want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. My partner, Court Radford, Coach Hillier, and the rest of the athletic staff here at Asheville High School for coming by. Thank you for watching.